Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's Wraith here, back with another video. Now, if you guys don't know, Fortnite actually did just release that they are going to be doing solo FNCS next. So I'm super excited personally because I really do enjoy solos, and I think that is the best testament to see how good of a player you are, because even in duos, you can rely on your duo a little bit more, you can get carried a little bit more, but solos, as it's all on you, you have to make it work. Yes, there's a little bit more RNG and everything like that, and you can get tilted a little bit easier, but in my opinion, solos really does show the skill of all the players. So basically in today's video, I'm going to let you guys know how to prepare for solo FNCS, get ready for it, and get ready to actually place and do well, and hopefully even if you practice quite a bit and practice good enough, then hopefully even make the grand finals. So if you're looking forward to this video, make sure you slap a like button on it, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and let's get into it. So for the first thing you need to start working on, you need to start improving instantly if you even want a shot at making the grand finals or doing well, is you need to start winning your fights. You need to learn how to win almost every single fight that you take. Now, I'm not talking about the ones where you get third partied or you get 200-0 or whatever the case is, right? But for most of your fights where it's a 1v1, you need to start winning them. Like, trust me, you can be the best endgame player in the world, you can have the best rotations, but if you can't win your fights, it doesn't matter how good you are at endgame because you're not going to make them. Or even 6 of the games you make endgame and you do really well, those 4 games that you all die could have been placement games. You could have got more points, you could have got more limbs, you could have got whatever the case is, you could even won the game, right? So you need to start learning how to win your fights. If you don't know how to win your fight and you keep dying no matter what, whether it's in arena, where the best example would be an arena, or customs, well, then you're not going to do well, because if you don't know how to do or how to win most fights, well then unfortunately you're not going to be able to make the end game, you're not going to get those placements points, you're not going to get those elimination points, and you're not going to do well overall. So a couple ways you can improve your fights is just simple things like improving your mechanics, which I'll talk about a little bit, W keying, which like I said I'll talk about in a little bit, but improving fights is the main thing you're going to want to work on, and trust me, it is so key to do well, especially with this placement system, where if you guys don't know, just look on their website right now, but it's basically like a really good system in my opinion for points, where it's like even if you get top 50 you get some points, if you get top 40 you get some points, etc, etc. Like almost every single time you place a little bit, you get a little bit of points, right? So surviving literally an extra minute longer is going to be huge in this FNCS. So I'll talk about improving fights a little bit right now and how you can improve your fights. Like I said in a previous video, and you guys all want me to make it, I will make a video on how to improve your aim and editing specifically just to improve those mechanics. But you're going to want to improve your overall mechanics just to get better at fighting, because if you don't have good editing, you don't have good building, you don't have good aim, well then you're not going to be able to win your fights, right? And like I said in the first tip, if you can't win your fights, you're not going to do well. So I'll make a video on those specifically, but basically work on your aim if you're keyboard and mouse player. Is playing Kovacs and playing aim maps are going to be the best way to do that. Sure, playing the game will be good, or doing aim duels. Aim duels is a really good one. You guys told me about them and I checked it out, and it is very good to improve your aim. So any of those things to improve your aim is really important, as well as editing maps or box fighting or 1v1 build fighting. All those are a really good way to improve your mechanics. Also, yes, I guess you could say W keying is a good way as well, like W keying in arena or solos. I personally recommend arena just because it's a little bit better competition, and more likely the people you're going to be coming across in FNCS are going to be kids from arena. So W keying in arena is just another really good way to get used to fighting. But like I said in so many videos, if you want to get better at fighting, you need to start W keying and you need to improve your mechanics. Those are the 2 main keys that you need to know to start improving your fighting ability, because if you don't have good mechanics, you're not going to win the fight. If you're not good at W keying and you don't practice it, well then you're not going to become better, and you're not going to be able to kill more people, right? So now my next tip, and I don't really talk about this as much anymore, and it's you gotta start playing customs again. Like, I don't really talk about customs that much because in my opinion, I think almost every single person who watches my video, including myself and even including a lot of pro players, your mechanics can never be good enough and your game IQ can never be good enough by watching VODs and stuff. So personally, in my opinion, just working on that ability to win every fight and W key and be able to kill anyone you come across is so much more important than being good in endgame, because if you can't make the endgame, well then how are you supposed to do well, right? So in my opinion, working on all your early game and mid game fights is super important, But now you're going to have to work a little bit more on customs. So how customs work is, if you guys don't know, it's basically you queue in, you normally will fight off spawn, and then no one will fight for the next like 2 to 3 zones, and then there's like 60 people end game, right? And you all work on end games, you work on your rotations. And if I were you guys, you need to start practicing a little bit of customs. Like I said, if you're not good at W key, you're not good with mechanics, focus on that first and then work on the customs. But being able to play in a stacked endgame, because we haven't seen a stacked solo endgame since World Cup, being able to play in a stacked endgame is going to be super key. So if I were you guys, I'd be playing like 5-6 customs a day minimum, just to start getting used to playing against better players, being able to rotate, being able to tunnel properly. Another good way to improve your end game without actually playing customs would be zone wars. Just works on your tunneling a little bit, how to fight more people when there's a lot of people around you, etc, etc. So I'd say zone wars or custom are a really good way to help improve your end game. And if you really do want to work on your end game, those are the two main things. But like I said, if you guys aren't good at W keying or you can't win all your fights, well, then I definitely recommend working on your mechanics and your W keying ability first, because like I said, in my opinion, that is a little bit more important than end games. My next tip is focus on improving as a solo right now instead of as a duo or anything else. So right now I understand that duos just ended and you guys are playing as duos, you found a duo or whatever the case is, you may not have, but you're just playing duos, or it's fun to play duos. But if you really want to do well and you really want to succeed in solo FNCS, you got to be putting more time into solos. You can't be playing 80% of the day in duos arena. Sure, you're improving a little bit, you're working on your rotations, but it's quite a bit different, right? Like, you have to deal with 2 people while you're fighting, you have to worry about your comms, you have to worry about so many external factors. If your duo dies, you have to worry about playing 1v2, like so many different things, right? So if I were you guys, I would just stick with solos right now. Obviously, if you just want to have fun and play the game and then do semi-good in FNCS, doesn't matter, just do whatever you want. But if you really want to do the best you possibly can, focus more on solos right now. Play more solo arena, play more custom solo. You don't do duos as much. And I know it might get a little bit more boring, it might get frustrating, because trust me, solos are super frustrating, I know. But if you guys really want to improve your solo gameplay and get ready for FNCS, then you got to spend more time focusing on the things like I said, W key and arena, working on your mechanics, and playing customs. Now my next tip, and this is going to be a really hard one for a lot of you guys, is you're going to have to work on your mentality. Now, I've made a couple videos on staying calm and things like that, but you're going to have to work on your mentality. Like, it's just simple. All my friends, including myself, and all the pro players, the things with solos is, especially even in other people's opinions, solos are extremely fun because it does show your skill and it's all reliant on you. But it is very easy to get triggered. It's very easy to get upset, get frustrated, get tilted, rage quit, or just start throwing your games or playing super bad, right? But in solo FNCS, when it comes down to especially making heats, because sometimes, I'm assuming, I haven't read the rules for this part, but making heats is going to be the same as other FNCSs, where the more consistent of a player you are, like if you can finish top 300 every single time, there's a very high chance you're going to make heats, right? So you can't afford having 1 game or 3 games or even a full weekend where you just tilt because you're doing bad, you died off spawn 5 games in a row. You can't afford that, right? You have to move past the tilt, you have to move past the anger, you have to get past it and just be like, you know what, whatever, right? I'm still good. Calm down and play those 5 games out to the best of your ability, because every single placement point really does matter in this right now, right? Like, if you can place top 300 every single time, you have a way higher chance of qualifying to the heat instead of placing top 100 one week, then top 700 one week, and then top 1,000 the other 2 weeks, right? It's super important to have good consistency. And the only way you can really have that is having good mentality. I can make a full video on working on your mentality and not to tilt if you guys want, but being able to not tilt is going to be so huge in solos. So my last tip, and you guys know I'm a huge advocate of this, is you need to start VOD reviewing. Whether it's your own gameplay, your pro gameplay, you need to start watching solos and figure out what to do in certain scenarios, what you're doing wrong, what pro players are doing in specific scenarios, and you need to start learning. Writing them down, writing down things that you need to work on, because today is the day you need to start grinding if you really want to do well. Sure, those people who have been grinding for the past month and a half solos are definitely at a big advantage over people like me or you who may not have been grinding solos as much because they're focused on duos or whatever the case is. But now is your time to catch up. You need to put in the extra hours by VOD reviewing your own gameplay, seeing what you're doing wrong, and actually paying attention and seeing what you need to start doing better, because that is the only way and the best way that you will improve, is by watching yourself and watching pro players. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you slap a like button on it, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys. Peace.